Good evening. So, I really didn't plan this, but for some reason, I just want to talk about this tonight, like race. That's why I tagged Donald Trump in there because he can understand that, right? That's a lot of the reason he's in office right now. Has a lot to do with race, but he also, you know, he has some good ideas for America. America, you know. Um, so anyway, let's talk about black people, right? Obviously, skin tone, right? So I can relate to some issues. I didn't deal with some racial issues. Like if you've ever been in prison, it's very uh, racial hotbed. Things can pop off real quick. I didn't been in race related riots. I didn't put my hands on a white person because of race more than once in prison. Facts. Okay, so with me telling you that, I feel like I have not authority, but I feel like I have the right to speak on it, from my point of view, right? So this is the problem with black people, right? The leadership, right? And you always hear that we have and that's been going on for what 50 odd years or so since the assassination of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and that group. Because it really hasn't had any. We've had other people, but they, like the Black Panther Party, da 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 da. But like I said, that never really took off to the level of leadership or of notoriety of like a King or a Malcolm X, where it was actually a nationwide public movement. You know what I mean? So anyway, back to the leadership, right? The reason I feel that I believe that there's a problem with the black leadership is because to get into black leadership, the things you have to do are counter to that race or African American race, however you want to say it. I'm using black today because that it fits what I'm talking about. But take for example, and I like Obama. Very intelligent guy. I still like Obama. I feel like he got put into a bad situation because there was really no success in that situation with him being being labeled the first black president. It was gonna be a segment of whites that the segment of whites that are only about race. See, then that's the thing. See, that's why there is a whole of white people. There's certain issues where all white people are together, just like it's certain issues where all black people are together. Certain issues, not every issue. You know what I mean? With that being said, that segment of white people who their defining thing is race, were never gonna support him. It was no way he was gonna succeed because they were not going. They would have rather the country went to, which you saw with using. That's when a lot of things got cut out and programs and stuff. And if you remember, it was a lot of anger and all of that. Which is how we got Trump in office. That's why I'm telling you. That's how Trump came from Obama. Trump came from the hate of Obama because it was we need our country back because this this nigga is in office. I don't have to be politically. Back to the black leadership, political correctness, things like that. That's why I like Trump. He's honest. He'll be like, man, it's some bullshit, whoop-de-woo, whatever you're talking about. Whether you agree with what he's saying or whatever, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's on you as an individual. Because at the end of the day, he's just a representation of a segment of people. You know what I'm saying? He's not. It's funny. I saw the Superman thing, but I'm just using that as an example because that's not really the. He doesn't. He's not the person that affects you at the level, like at the level right here, like down at the regular level of people. He just puts the face on the greater society. He's like how you say when the rappers used to say they represented the community, like NWA when in late 80s, early 90s, they're like, oh, we're just a representation of the community of what's going on around us. That's what Trump is for politics. You know what I'm saying? Because politics is all about representation, especially in the type of place that we live, that Americans live in. So anyway, the problem with black leadership, like I said, to get into black leadership, like using Obama as an example, you have to go through, like he had to go through Harvard, he had to go through all of these institutions. And these institutions were created by white people. Like Harvard, law schools, all these law firms and stuff that he had to go through to even get to the point to be put on that pedestal. You see what I'm saying? To even get to that point, he had to go through all of these white institutions. So by going to even make it through those white institutions, you can't. It's like you gotta have your blackness so like you see how he speaks. Like even now you hear me speaking, and okay, I'm articulate. Like most black people are gonna be like, oh, well, what are you? You're one of the good ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, not black people don't talk like that. Like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? But in your head, that's what you like. Oh man, you the one you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Nah, look at me, right? You see what I'm saying? But anyway. So for him to even get using him, I'm just using him as an example because it's a good example. And you still see how much he was hated by that segment, and that's regardless of after all he went through with these institutes to get the support of the white people who are more like logical, logical basically is what I would say, because they're more like kind of like it's actually Trump is like right there on that borderline, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like. I've seen it in firsthand. Like he'll take a good idea wherever it come from, right? So that's the borderline. That's where the line stops at. See, stops at like the people who will take, and it doesn't just go for white people. It goes for pretty much any any dominant race in any nation. So that's why I don't want to make it like it's always just about white people. No, it's not. But. Back to what I said. So you got these certain segment of people who is like, you could be the best at whatever it is, and unless you can change your skin color, you're in bad shape with them. So it's a certain segment of those people. Okay, so back to Obama. So he went through these institutions and all of that. So like I said, even those in America, even those liberal white people, like I said, it's certain issues it gets to. Like, if you go out right now and smack a police officer, like you'll see that even Nancy Pelosi is gonna be like, nah, hold on, you know what I mean? Go smack like if you was black and you go smack a white police, like one of those what's his name? I use him as an example, like Derek Chauvin or whatever, one of them from whichever person they kill, which. That's a whole nother issue or whatever, whoop-de-woo, because sometimes it's right. See, that's why I said political correctness. Sometimes them niggas be deserving it. Sometimes it be police bullshit. It depends. Some because I've seen, like, I can go into detail. I can go to even some specific to someone I actually know who got killed by police. I'd be like, I know that person. Yeah, they should have put a bullet in his ass. I know what type of nigga he was. Keeping it a buck. So and then it's sometimes like I can look at like the Trayvon situation, even though that wasn't an actual police officer. Like he could have minded his own fucking business. You know what I mean? And let him walk and mind his business and waited until he seen. If he would have called him in somebody's house or something, then okay, all right. But if he just was walking, whatever the fuck, on the telephone, like some niggas do, young niggas do. Like I was that age, whatever. I'm just using that. That's perfect examples, right? So, like I said, back to the Obama thing. So when you go through these institutions, you can't do this. You can't be like, that nigga got killed by the police. That was fucked up, or he deserved it, or whatever. You can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like the Diddy thing. Like I saw somebody I know, and he's in a higher position. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't like I don't I know him personally. I don't know I can't say what he was thinking is in his head one way or the other, but he gave the politically correct answer. When in reality, it's like, all right, man, some of these hoes is hoes. You know what I mean? Like, and comedians say it, and I'm not a comedian. No, some of these hoes is hoes. Now, do I know Cassie personally? Nah. But to get in that position with somebody like Puffy and with his known, like, and for me, from here, if I can see that he has a known reputation for doing these certain type of things, and this was before he went through court and federal charges and all that. For her to even be in that position with him, she got some hoe in her. Keep it a buck. She got some hoe in her. She wasn't no church girl. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need to see any tapes or any testimony to know that she was a whore. Now, how you treat whores is a different matter of opinion. If some people are like, hey, whatever, a whore is a whore. Whore is a whore. You know what I'm saying? Treat them like a whore. And then some people are like, oh, well, it's still a woman, da 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 da. But getting off subject, if you feel like that, we might as well go back to the 50s where women in the kitchen and you safe. You know what I'm saying? Just go in and stay in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? If all women are, like I said, if all women are together on there, like, oh, no, you can't ever stay in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Just like I tell her, if all niggas are together with, can't no nigga ever get killed by the police? Nah, some of these niggas deserve it. Some of these hoes deserve it. Some of these white people are racist. You got to be realistic. But I can say this. Everybody can't say this. You know what I'm saying? Back to the leadership thing. Because once you get in that position, you can't really be honest. That's why I like Trump. Because he's in a position and it's a little bit of white privilege, you know what I'm saying, and he's able to do it and stay in that position. Because had Obama, that's why I used this bum, had Obama came out there, like, and he smoked cigarettes. Had Obama came out there smoking a cigarette and was like, hey, man, these taxes fucked up. This is just what it is, man. We got, look, what y'all want to do? This shit fucked up. Healthcare fucked up. What you want to do? If Obama came out there and talked like Trump, his black ass would have been out of office in like 2 seconds. And that's all life. Everybody and anybody who realistic know that. So back to this political correctness shit. This is what I'm saying. Like, you want to be intelligent to get your message across, but like I tell you, is some black people I watch, like podcasts, stuff like that, and it's like sometimes they had good ideas, but it's like you disconnect them with the people who actually at the like I'll give you a good example. It's more women. Like, I'm in Memphis right now, Memphis, Tennessee. This is like a 70% black city. It's more women in Memphis that's going to listen to Sexy Red than Angela Rye. These are just because these are people I follow on like Instagram or whatever, and I see their posts. It's more women in Memphis are going to do what Sexy Red say than what Angela Rye say. You know what I mean? Most of them probably don't even know who Angela Rye is. You know what I'm saying? But perfect example. So back to this. So because of this lack of leadership, and then once you get into that point of leadership, it's just like during slavery, when you had, that's where the term the house nigga, and I'm not calling anybody house niggas or anything like that, because it's not because of education or anything, but it's like the things that come along with it. It's like, if you're in the NFL, you're going to be in the best training facility, right? So it's like, if you in this position, you're going to get accustomed to a certain standard of living. Just like if you're an athlete, you get accustomed to a certain standard of training. LeBron has access to different training tools than somebody playing at your local university. You know what I'm saying? Unless, unless it's the best university in the country, one of the most, funded or whatever, whoop-de-woo. But the point I'm making is, you get accustomed to a standard of living. So it's like you become a slave to that. That's where you become a slave to, because it's like I said, Obama can't say that because now he's been accustomed to this certain standard of living for so long that his decisions his words have to be calculated not to lose that position. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why he had, like when he makes a statement, he takes a lot of time, and that's why I say he's a perfect example. He takes a lot of time. Every word has to be crafted, and the message has to be like very directed. You know what I'm saying? He can't just get on here and start like, oh, this is how I feel today, whoopty woo, da 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 da, because he's in a position and he doesn't want to lose that position. He doesn't want to lose his home, his standard of living, which I understand. I'm not knocking you, because it's like, who wants to be in the hood or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Not even necessarily broke, but just who wants to be in the hood is the mindset, because it's dangerous or whatever, that's what people think or whatever, da da da. So with that, pretty much anybody in any leadership position, in any, like, perfect example, using like LeBron or something that's an athlete, right? LeBron wanted his $50 million. This NBA free agency just went on. LeBron wanted his $50 million. You see what I'm saying? You think LeBron is gonna give up his $50 million for some niggas he don't know? You know what I mean? Like, he not giving up his $50 million for his teammates. So he definitely ain't giving it up for some niggas in the middle of nowhere. You get what I'm saying? Like, so this is just like back to slavery. This is how niggas were controlled during slavery, and that's where the house nigga versus the field nigga, like, hey, during slavery, LeBron was, hey, this 6'8", 250-pound nigga who could run. Hey, that nigga can carry 8 bales of cotton. The other nigga can only carry 1. Hey, we finna get him the best slave women to breed with. That nigga's gonna get the best piece of it. Look, if the nigga's eating pork, that nigga eating pork steak. He ain't eating chitlins. My big nigga right there, he gonna eat pork steak. Just like he gonna get $50 million now. During slavery, he was gonna get pork steak and he's gonna get his pick of the and then look, he came out to, hey, LeBron, which one of these nigger women you want? Excuse my language. But you know what I'm saying? Which one of these nigger women you want? You have any one you want. This is real life. This is what we deal with. This for hundreds of years, this has been the game plan. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, now we in this position where it's like, it's no leaders, because it's like anybody who got any type of position wants to keep it. So they are straight, like, they're trapped into these positions of just bullshit, of just I'm gonna just say the politically correct bullshit to keep my position and stay there, which is safe. And do I blame them? No, I can't blame them, but I'm just saying this is the reason that we see Trump and we see this place that we live, America, going in the direction that it's going. Because, see, there is white privilege, because white people can do that. Like I said, you had Trump. He's just a good example, but I've worked with a lot of white people, you know what I'm saying? Like, doing different things, like, because, I've been in prison. I went through like, I went through like a halfway house program or whatever. And so that was ran by like a white church, you know what I mean? And it was like rich white construction owner, like owned a lot of businesses. We were like building a hotel. And he was kind of like Trump, like in his attitude, like he said what he wanted because he could, because he was rich and white, and he didn't need any, he could get out there right now and say whatever the fuck he wants, just like Trump, and you're not gonna be able to take anything away from him. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Versus all niggas are in fear of losing. You say you got one time. Look, like perfect example, Diddy. Even though his was more of a process, still you got one time to get caught fucking up and it's over with. Shit, even Tiger Woods. Remember Tiger Woods? Barely talk about him now. You know why? He got caught fucking up and it was over with. You know what I mean? And it was like over with. But it's so much more I can say about all of this, but I already know I've probably already been on here like 20 minutes, and these videos, I know how people are. You don't want to watch too much. So I'll call this part one, and I'll cut it off right here. And the next time I get the urge I'm going to watch this back, and I'm going to see what I already said. And the next time I get the urge to continue with this, it could be tomorrow, it could be a week from now, it could be a year from now. But whenever it does, I'm gonna save this video and upload it so it doesn't get deleted with the after the little time period because of live or whatever. And definitely, if you had time, watch, and this is part one, and then we'll go from there. But if you had time, watch and think about what I said, and when you're dealing with, when you're thinking about leadership and all that, if you even care about that. Like I said, there's a certain segment that Sexy Red got more relevance to what's going on in their life than what the fuck I'm talking about right now. And that's the facts. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave at that on part one.